Let's have a look at sticky positioning. For that, I prepared another example for you. As always, you can find the code attached to this video. And what we can see right here are basically three different elements. We can inspect it right here. We have three parent classes. And inside these classes, we have a class country with the country and two cities, two separate classes again. If we scroll through that page, we can see that there is nothing spectacular actually. The code itself is also quite easy, as we saw it. We have the HTML code right here with our 1, 2, and 3 parent classes, and the 3 classes inside of each parent. Additionally, we have some CSS code. You can see the code I commented out right here, because it's basically the same code we had in the other examples right here. And I wanted to comment it out first to improve the readability for this first example right here. But as soon as we dive deeper into Sticky, I will comment this in just to make sure you can see all the relationships, so child, parent, and so on. Now with that, let's start adding this position sticky declaration now. And I want to add position sticky right here to the parent country selector. And I don't explain a lot on purpose, because I first want to show you what it does and then why it is doing what it does. So let's add position sticky right here to our country. Basically, we added it to this class right here now. If we now reload the page and scroll around, nothing changed. But if we now add another property, a well-known property, top, and say maybe 20 pixels, let's see if this changes the behavior of sticky. If we reload again, and now scroll down. Oh, what was that? Can you see it? The USA, so the country element, doesn't move in the beginning, you can see it. But as soon as it touches a certain limit apparently, it moves downwards and behaves like a fixed element. Oh, but here it ends. If we scroll down further, we can see the same behavior for France, which stops right here, and for Germany, which stops right there. So what can we see right here? What is Sticky doing? Well, Sticky is basically a hybrid or a combination of relative and fixed. Because if we now again remove top 20 pixels, we saw that, and reload the page, nothing changes. So we basically added a position property, which doesn't change the position in the document flow or which changes the position of the element at all, like relative does. But as soon as we add the top property right here, the element behaves like a fixed element as soon as we reach a certain border. Now, the border is reached depending on our position of the viewport, because if we inspect USA up here and scroll down, we can see that as soon as we reach a certain limit, the element is fixed. And if I change top 20 pixels to top 0, like that, I think you probably believe me that the relevant border is the distance between the viewport and, can you see it, the border of our USA element right here. If we move down, it sticks right here. And the same thing can be observed, can you see it? As soon as we reach our border of the France element, it moves down. Same thing is true for Germany. So that's the first thing. Apparently, we can specify a distance between our element and the viewport. And as soon as we reach this distance, the element behaves as fixed. I think we understood that. The interesting thing at the same time, though, is that the element simply stops being fixed as soon as it reaches the end of the content of its parent element. And that's the second interesting behavior of Sticky, and that's also the reason why I will now comment in that code again, right here and right there, right here and right there, and also the parent border maybe, like that. And if we reload the page now, and maybe change the color of the body, to be honest, maybe to this gray, I think this looks better, like that, then you can see the same behavior we had before, but you can get the idea of child, parent, and parent of the parent, so the body element. And as you can see, The body element doesn't have an impact at all. The parent also doesn't have an impact. The only impact is, as I said, the viewport. But to end this fixed behavior, the end of the content inside the parents is the important factor. And we won't dive deeper into it in this course because sticky is a rather new value for the position property. So I think it's important to understand why it is there and how it works. But browser support is not perfect yet. Let me show you what I mean. If you Google can I use, so right here, you can also write it like this if you want to, doesn't make a difference. So can I use, you find this caniuse.com link up here. If you click onto that, you can now simply add the value in our case that you want to apply. We want to apply the sticky value. And as you can see, we have CSS position sticky right here. And browser support, yeah, it's okay. But we can see that for the IE, the browser support is not there at all. For Edge, it's there. For Firefox, it's also there. But even for Chrome, it's only partially supported. Therefore, using sticky right now, well, depending on your needs, is maybe not the best idea. But as this browser support might improve or will improve in the future, knowing sticky and also having a basic idea of how it works is definitely helpful. But with that, I want to end the sticky part, and before we also finish this module, I want to come back to a topic I quickly talked about when we applied the Z-index, the stacking context. What's that actually?